Hello, boys and girls. It's time for phonics. So, this week we're learning about pronouns. So let's start by reading our new spelling words, practice those pronouns. We're going to use them on the worksheet. You need this two-sided worksheet, one with the anchors and the sail and the, what are those called? Life preserver tubes? I'm not sure. And then the purple heading on the back. Alright, so let's take a look. We have our new words on the right side. We have I, me. These are the words talking about yourself, first person. You, talking about someone else, second person. Talking to someone else, sorry. He, him, she, her, talking about someone, talking about boys, talking about girls. It, talking about a thing that's not a person. And then there's we and us, talking about yourself with other people, back to being first person. So those are all third person. Good. So we're going to use our knowledge of those. And when you would use, remember, a pronoun is a word you use to replace the name of a noun. So instead of saying Mrs. Santa Leary, if you were talking about me, you would say she. Or if you're giving me something, you would say I gave it to her. And if you're talking about the clock, you would say it. The clock is yellow. It is yellow. Or I am moving the hands of the clock. I am moving them. The hands, more than one. Oh wait, them isn't one of our words. Ah, I'm going crazy. Okay. I hope you're enjoying me being me on this video. Oh my goodness, so embarrassing. Okay, so let's start on the side that says say it another way. And you're going to need your pencil, and let's get right to work. So we'll start by reading this section at the top. It says, a pronoun is a word that replaces a noun. So it takes the place of a noun. You take out a noun, a person, place, or thing, and then use a pronoun in its place. Instead of saying, the girl picks flowers, you could say, she picks flowers. So you would take out the girl, take that out, cross it out, and you would add in the word she. You don't have to do those markings. I was just showing you kind of what it does. The girl is replaced by she. Directions. Draw a line to match the noun or group of nouns with the pronoun. The first one has been done for you. So let's read all of our nouns or group of nouns first. We have Sam and I, Jane, Mom and Dad, Bob, the small frog. Okay, so now let's read our pronouns. We have they. This is a word we haven't had yet, but they. Talking about other people that aren't yourself. We, it, she, he. Okay, so let's start by, we will look at the one they did for us. Sam and I, instead of saying Sam and I are at the park, we could say we are at the park. Talking about yourself and someone else. We. Good. What if we talk about Jane? Jane is at the park. What word could you use to replace Jane? Jane is a girl, and it's one girl that's not yourself. So which one talks about one girl that's not yourself? They, it, she, or he? Good. She. Jane is a girl, so she is at the park. Jane is at the park. Very good. What about mom and dad? If you're saying mom and dad are at the park, It's two people, more than one person. Would you say we are at the park? Does it say mom and dad and I? No, we can only talk about if you're included in it, if you're saying I also. What about he? Can that work? No, because it's not just talking about dad. You'd have to say they. So mom and dad are at the park. They are at the park. What about Bob is at the park? Bob is a boy. So our ones that I have left are it or he. Bob's at the park. He is at the park. Good. It's talking about a boy, a male, just one person, right? And finally, the small frog. The small frog is at the park. It is at the park. So a small frog is not a person, so you would use it. Very good. This is a good warm-up for the back side. Flip your page over. Oops, I forgot to write my name on this page. So write your name on one side or the other. It doesn't matter which side. And then the date, 12/2/20. And let's get to work. Changing nouns into pronouns. Directions. Read each sentence below. Replace the underlined noun or nouns with a pronoun and then rewrite the whole sentence on the blank line. So here's your example. David played the drums. So David is underlined. David is a noun. It's the name of a boy. Instead of saying David played the drums, it changes to he played the drums. So he replaces David. So a pronoun will just take the place of a noun. He played the drums. Let's read this first sentence. So I'm only going to do the first two with you, and I'm going to have you try the rest on your own. And if you need someone at home to help you read it, you can do that. Tim played checkers with K. Tim played checkers with K. So underlined words are our nouns that we need to replace with pronouns. Okay, so we have Tim first. Is Tim a boy or a girl? It's a boy. Good. So instead of saying Tim played checkers, we could say he played checkers. So we're starting our sentence with uppercase H. He, spelling word, he played, and you're just copying the rest of the sentence. Played. Make sure that you have a space between words, but don't make the space too big because I have a feeling you might run out of space. Played checkers. So try to write your letters close together, closer than you normally would, because these sentences are pretty long. He played checkers with Now we have to replace K. We're talking about a girl. Would you say he played checkers with she? No. What might you use? Tim played or he played checkers with. What other word talks about a girl that's a girl receiving something? Do you remember that from yesterday's page? He played checkers with her. Good. This is why yesterday's page talking about subject, object. I know it doesn't really, all those words are just like, probably don't make sense to you yet, but there are some words you use in the beginning and some you'd use towards the end. Like the receiving word. Okay, good. Let's try number 2. The store was filled with lots of toys. The store was filled with lots of toys. So we have our noun underlined, the store. What pronoun would you use to replace the store? Is the store a person? No, so we can't say he or she was filled with lots of toys. What would you use to replace something that's a thing? It. Very good. It was filled with lots of toys. So start with uppercase I, because it's at the beginning of a sentence. It was. You're just copying exactly the rest of the sentence. Was filled with lots of toys. It was. So it's okay if you run out of space, you can just finish it in the space below. Make sure your sentences end with the punctuation mark that it ends with. You'll notice number 4 ends in a question mark, so you'll need to write a question mark at the end of your number 4. So good. Now you're going to try the rest on your own. For example, in number 3, Dad took my brother and me to the park. So if Dad took my brother and me, instead of saying my brother and me, if you're talking about yourself and someone else, you would say my dad took, would you say my dad took we to the park? Or my dad took us to the park? Which one makes more sense? My dad took we to the park, or Dad took us to the park? Can't wait to see if you figured it out. So you're going to try the rest of those on your own. Have someone in your family help you read it if you're having trouble. Or if you're having trouble replacing those nouns with pronouns, use your brown book or that subject-object pronoun page from yesterday to help you remember what all the pronouns are and test all of them out. Does it make sense to say Dad took he to the park? No. Dad took her to the park? Well, no, my brother and me are not her. Test them all out. See which one makes most sense. Good luck. I can't wait to see your hard work.